stacks of videos, and they had archived in the tape, so it's like a room full of tapes. And when I say that, it's like imagine this floor being a room of storage. So we actually, depending upon how old it is, we started archiving and moving into digital, or just purging if it were beyond a certain date. But yeah, right now we just stick with 7 years. Next, we'll talk about more cybersecurity. So from a software perspective, some of the things that we talked about the Breeze card, PCI, and then what you see here are some money room machines. I would be remiss in saying, and probably most of you all have seen some of the love, I say, that we're getting from Channel 2 News from a security perspective. And one of the things that is fortunate that I'm coming before you all, but unfortunate because I'm like, I got to do a presentation. So just like your debit cards, your credit cards, or let me rephrase that, the debit cards or credit cards your parents might have that they let you use sometimes, have the same security that we do on our Breeze cards. We've done AFC disaster recovery, and we're actually planning a big event to happen in December of 2017. And we've also done driver control units, which is the bus DCU upgrades that's scaled to go back in July 2018. So one of the things that we are also doing is more development. Tiny tidbit that I'm not sure that everyone knows. Do you all know that in most cases, most of the property around a Marta train station, Marta actually owns? And as we own that, one of the things that we're trying to do is what we call the trans-oriented development. And that means that we're trying to build work, life, play centers around those train stations. So a lot of times you'll see things where we're building apartments, we're building businesses, and we're building parks and recreation areas around our transit system.
So hold on. Marta's getting ready to get into, or you're into construction development?
We're in the real estate business.
Wow.
Okay. We're not getting in it. We're in it. We're actually in it. One of the things, I don't know if you all have had the opportunity or know where the Marta headquarters is. Where Marta headquarters is, and I always use this as an example, we're on Piedmont and Lindbergh. And where our headquarters is to the Lindbergh street is probably about a half of a mile distance. And then on the other side of that, we have what we call an annex building. So it's a former bank that we bought, and we actually have employees that are over there. So think about somewhere in a half a mile radius, all of that property, you have Chili's restaurant, Dunkin' Donuts, apartment buildings, 2 parking decks. There's another restaurant there I can't think of right now. But we actually own all of that property and we rent it out to all of those organizations.
Wow.
So we actually have a real estate program. We have real estate lawyers. We have folks that do nothing but real estate. One of the things that we do that's cool is we have these fresh markets that we're starting to put up at the station. So for those areas, a lot of them are on the south side. Most people don't have opportunity to get fresh fruit, vegetables, things of that nature. So we're actually standing up fresh markets there. We're working with the city of Atlanta. These little green bikes, they have a nice bike share program. So we've teamed up with them to understand and give space where you can store those bikes. You can ride somewhere, go to where you need to go and leave that bike there, but be able to do that at one of our train stations. We're having outdoor events at the train station. So when we talk about amenities, we're talking about the food trucks, the bike shares, Jazz Mondays, Pianos for Peace, and fresh markets. So all of those things that we're trying to do just from a transit-oriented development perspective and have more amenities. So again, that thing we talked about, more market, more cellular technology. One of the things that we're doing now is that if you've ever ridden a train, your phone goes dead. My phone goes dead while you're in the tunnel system. So Marta is actually working with a lot of the major providers to actually have cellular, the four major providers to have cellular access within the tunnels. What you see here are folks actually laying fiber. Our CIO loves this picture, and that's the reason why I put it in there, because she might see this. Is that you don't often see actual fiber being laid in today's day, especially in the tunnel system. We're probably, I think Washington has done it. And I think, I don't know if New York has any underground. But we're, on one hand, probably one of the only other systems that will allow for fiber or cellular connection within the tunnels. And like I said, construction is completed. So at 5 Points, Peachtree Center, and Dome, you have that now. So that's great examples of being able to do that, and then having a system-wide implementation of fall 2018.
So those two of the four carriers.
Two of the four: Sprint, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon. So now, more Wi-Fi. Again, one of the things that we're trying to do now is also have Wi-Fi on all of our rolling stock. So that means all of our buses, I call them big buses and little buses. So all of the rolling stock, as well as our train systems, having Wi-Fi on that. We've done piloted free Wi-Fi on 70 buses. We've leveraged Wi-Fi infrastructures on the vehicles, and Wi-Fi on buses are expected to be completed by spring of 2017, and Wi-Fi on all trains in fall of 2017. So right now, we've been able to actually implement Wi-Fi and cellular together with not a lot of upfront costs by Marta, and allowing the carriers to actually bid and pay for a lot of the ongoing services that would incur, that we would usually incur simply by working with one of the third parties to actually do the infrastructure. So it's actually a win-win for us, the providers, and you as the riders, in that it's not something that you have to purchase. It's something that when you get on the buses or on the train, you'll be able to get a Wi-Fi code, especially now as this rolls out. If you see the Wi-Fi on board, that means that that capability is there, and that if you look around, there'll be a placard that tells you how to log on. More mobile technology. Now, this is something that I'm excited about. One of the things that we talk about is the Breeze card and being able to use the Breeze card to purchase. But one of the things that we're trying to do, or not trying to do, we're in the process of doing, is rolling out that capability on your phone. So versus ever having to have a Breeze card, just like you can do Samsung Pay and Mobile Pay, Apple Pay, and things of that nature, you'll be able to purchase your ticketing on your telephone using QR codes. We actually completed a pilot about 5 months ago, and we had the winner of the pilot is going to implement this system. And these are actual examples of on the bus of some of the devices and in the train stations using a QR code to be able to do mobile ticketing. The adoption rate from that was very high. We were up in the 80s, 88% were satisfied, 83 would use the Breeze Mobile. Full implementation scheduled for fall 2017. So when we're talking about a technology perspective, question?
Are you moving towards the way that you phone without
Yes. Yes. That and hopefully, based upon what we've seen with the pilot period, we think the adoption rate will take over the use of the Breeze card very shortly. Within 2 to 3 years, we think that the use of a Breeze card would be less than 20%. And with that, it allows for capabilities for us to partner with other restaurants, local game places, things of that nature, to be able to offer different programs to increase ridership. So if you ride our system 20 times in a month, you earn 20 tokens to get $5 off Starbucks. And for you young folks, if, $5 in a game store, you know, or off of what is the Apple Store or the Play Store, one of those things. So some of those things that may be attractive to all of the riders, and not only pay for your MARTA, but why not be able to pay for all of your regional transit systems? So one of the things that we've integrated into that is the regional authorities or transit authorities around here. So your Greta, I think they're called CERTA now, Gwinnett County, Cobb County, be able to pay that transit one time and be able to ride that. But then let's take it a step further. Why not be able to package going to the aquarium and riding the train system? Why not be able to package going to a Hawks game or a Falcons game and purchase your ticketing at the same time? So those are the things that we're looking at, and we think the capability from mobile ticketing will offer. So that's more mobile. Next is more AVIS technology. So AVIS is an acronym short for our audio visual integrated system. And what that will do is allow more relevant and consistent communication with the ridership, replacing aging equipment, better integration with regional transit data, emergency alerts, ADA compliance, and $30 million of that funding from the state Georgia Go Transit Grant. So that means that we can put $30 million into something else versus having to upgrade the signs. And what we're doing with that is we're going to actually buy some new trains so that we can actually do some of this technology on our train system. So one of the things that you see here, you see our old signs, these dot matrix, orange, black signs right here. So our audio visual technology project will allow us, I'm trying to talk slow so it'll switch. And it'll allow us to, come on, let's switch back.
Maybe it
Switched
a couple times.
Okay, that's how you make it do it. But for, as you see these right here, this representation here, a very, very, very smart individual actually came up with that design. Very talented individual who actually built this presentation and actually coded in it, and is actually being used to start the pilot for all of our audiovisual efforts. And that person happens to be standing in front of you today.
That's what I'm talking about.
So again, when I talk about being around computers and being all about computers all the time, that's an example. Now, traditionally, you don't get a lot of directors that get a chance to play like that, but I saw an opportunity and I took it. So I played, but that's one of the designs that's being able to come up with that the things that you all are learning now will allow you to be able to do this one day. And this was something, it's like I said, it's something that I developed as a representation of something that we could do, and something that, as I said, I feel like I can leave my stamp on Marta whenever the day comes that, you know, I decide to move on and do something different. That would be a legacy. That would be something that I can look back and say, when I'm riding the system, that wow, that's something that I helped implement and that I was a core piece of. So keep that in mind with the things that you all are doing here. And hopefully one day you all will be able to take that little stuff that I did, take it to the next level. Why not make it 3D? Why not make it interactive? Why not make it some of the things that you see in the movies today? Right now, technology and the capabilities are going so much further than what I understood when I was actually behind, doing the coding day to day. You guys will be light years from where I am. So, speaking of that, one of the things that we're very proud of is Marta, at Marta, and I'll say within the technology department, we started the Marta Hackathon. And as you see here, we work very closely with the Atlanta technology community, which is Code for Atlanta, Hack GT, the Sandbox. We've held 2 hackathons. One was in October of last year and one in February of this year. And as you can see, we had a total participants of 197 people, 24 teams, to the one we had in February went up to 316 people with 36 teams. And this is how we're reaching out to the community to not only understand some of the woes and the pains that are affected by the daily rider, the weekly rider, or the occasional rider, but also the technology community to understand what are some of the capabilities that are out there, what are some of the things that you all are working with. It's like I said, one of the things, although I enjoy what I do, I don't get a chance to understand or work with a lot of the emerging technologies out there. You all do and have an opportunity to be able to see and do different things. And so engaging with this community is a way for us to learn and to do different things. One of the things that I'm excited about is that from an IoT perspective, are you all familiar with IoT? The Internet of Things? Well, this is a beacon. So one of the projects that we're working on right now is that I'm placing these in our Marta station. And can you guys guess what would be some uses of a beacon? What can you think of right now, just off the top of your head? What could you do with a beacon? Yes, sir. You gotta give me your outside voice while we're inside. What's that, man? Exactly. That's a great opportunity. So one of the things that I'm doing is partnering with a few of the major organizations here in Atlanta to say, well, if we have this, I actually have an avenue to interact with all of our riders. If you download the Marta on the Go app, well, that's my opportunity to now interact with you. And that's dual ways. So my interaction can now, not only can I say, well, how many people are in this room, I can now give a more accurate count that there is, and I'm just guessing now, 60 people, 50 people, whatever, in this particular room, and I can be accurate with that count. Now, what type of data does that tell me? If everyone were to go down to that, to our platform downstairs to get on a train, and I know that I'm bringing a train that's coming from downtown from a Falcons game, and that train is full, and now I know that I have another 100 people that are waiting on the platform, what should I do?
Keep going.
Well, I need to add another train into the system. I need to help. But that is a way. I could ride on. That's the Chicago way. It's not the Atlanta way. But I would like to add another train into the system. Well, let's take another example. If it's a hot day outside and you're on the platform and there's a Dunkin' Donuts, a Starbucks, or Orange Julius, or something like that that's across the street. What if I were able to say, hey, dear Mr. Company or organization, I know that on every Friday I will have 100 people or 100 cases of foot traffic that will be at my platform for 10 minutes. You want to offer a coupon? And if you could then pre-purchase your coffee, your smoothie, your slushie, your donut, and be able to pick that up and get back to the platform before the next train, would you do it? So those are the things that by using beacons, these things right here, I'm now able to do from an IoT perspective. It's priceless. My marketing or our marketing group is like, hey, when are you gonna do the beacon? It's like I can't walk in the door and they're like, hey, are you done with that beacon project? Are the beacons up yet? Can we start using that? So another thing is to help our folks who are may not have sight or may have trouble walking. So one of the things that right now they use canes to be able to tell them. I see them when I'm riding the platform. We have a rubberized strip that lets them know that when they're getting close to the edge, and they use a cane to walk. Most times they do have cellular devices. So what if I had a beacon that gave you wayfinding? Something to be able to tell you how to navigate within the system. That tells you that when you getting closer to the edge of the platform, that if you're 5 feet away, it starts signaling you that, hey, you're 5 feet away from the platform. And if you want to find your way, how to get off get out and go to the grocery store, I could lead you with a set of beacons on how to get to your destination. So that's an example of IoT that we're trying to bring to Marta. So another thing is that we talked about the Avis project. With the Avis project, we talked about, and that's the audiovisual integration system, where it's integrated, where it's what you see on the screen is the same thing that you hear. So what if you were able to use beacons and the Avis system and now IoT to be able to say, well, what are some of the attractions that are around me? So here, example of the train station downstairs. Well, we have Perimeter Mall that's right over there. What if we'd be able to tell you that there's, you have your Macy's, you have Bloomingdale's, down the street you have Great Mexican Uncle Julio's restaurant, you have seafood, that you have all of these things around here. So those are the things that we're talking about integrating into the system and using IoT to do. And what I'll do now, think I'm doing time.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
Derek told me I'm talking. Trying to make this. You know what I'm saying? All right, I was gonna try and show you all the YouTube video, but I guess.
So that's what Marta's doing?
That's all this fancy technology here. We'll have fancy technology at Marta. All right, I said if I messed up the presentation, I go into my goodie bag. So I guess I gotta go into my goodie bag.
New ridership. Working quickly and creatively, we only have 20.
Hey, welcome to the Marta Hackathon. Civic hacking is what we're making the city better.
This is an exciting time, obviously, for Marta. We are thrilled about the fact that you're going to help us create ways of attracting new ridership.
Working quickly and creatively, we only have 24 hours together. We're going to hear some pitches about some project ideas.
Now I'm also supposed to. I can't see them all. Is that acceptable? Is acceptable?
Yeah, help me check.
Is that accepted?
Yeah, I guess enable external content, click that one maybe. And then okay.
Powerful presentation. More. Now you want to see this.
Welcome to the Marta Hackathon. Civic hacking is what we're doing, or we're making the city better.
This is an exciting time, obviously, for Marta. We are thrilled about the fact that you're going to help us create ways of attracting new ridership.
Working quickly and creatively, we only have 24 hours together. We're going to hear some pitches about some project ideas.
So a user interface is desired to navigate among all three apps.
I'm proposing that there will be some kind of currency like Bitcoin that Marta will have, and we can just use it. I want to build a recommendation engine that's going to let people know that, hey, I want to start taking Marta. What is everyone else who's taking the same route as me taking?
I plan on building an app that will pull the real-time data and send out an SMS or an email to get a perfect connection time.
We need to crowdsource from people who are not generally using the system now. What are their origins? What are their destinations?
25 ideas. Find a team. All of these people could be your team member.
We're working on an automatic grease card refilling systems. We're working on combining the 3 different Marta apps.
Right now we're working on a web presence that will allow people to track their kids.
We're working on a heat map which tells you the time you would need to travel from one place to another.
Who spent the night here in the garage? Raise your hand. Yeah, look at that. Hardcore.
So we have Transit Whistle that helps you maximize your use of your time by letting you know when to leave to get on the train to the bus.
So our project was essentially automated subscription renewal for Marta Breeze cards.
So our app's goal is to increase community engagement, trying to connect different tech communities.
The problem we're trying to solve is to help more ridership for new people that maybe don't know Atlanta.
And we want to do a mobile app to manage your Breeze card account.
So we are building Marta Connect, which is an app that allows you to plan your trip with Marta and then the last mile be completed with Uber.
The judges are going to come individually to your tables. It's just a science fair. You have 5 judges, so you're gonna talk to a lot of people in that hour and a half. 6:15 judging will be finished. Come on up here, judges. Come on, all of you, all 5 of you.
Announcing third place is Marta Rewards. You're unique because your app focused on the choice rider.
Second place prize goes to Marta Connect.
So coming up with a way that you can understand the last mile, first mile connectivity is a very important element to making Marta an integral part of everybody's transportation choices.
First place, My Breeze. They use NFC, so you can tap your Breeze card to the back of any phone that has NFCs. Congratulations to them.
All the folks, all the hackers, thank you for putting in some incredible work.
Well, this event is so well supported and really well organized. I think we really enjoyed it. So we encourage you to come out and help the community, and get better at what you're doing.
And I'm just excited because there's another one coming up so short. Look forward to seeing you again in just a couple of months. Go Marta.
So that's an example of the hackathon. So what we're doing is all of those teams, and especially some of the ones that won, we're actually working with them to see how we can integrate what they produced or what they came up with actual in our actual system. So that's some of the things that we've done are the Marta mobility. So how do we help not only the patron or the mobility patron, but their caregivers, their family members, understand more or expect to know when they're going to arrive. So we're actually integrating that into our applications right now. Some of the other things that we're doing, you notice that the Marta Rewards team, we're actually trying to integrate the Marta Rewards team to understand exactly how can we start to influence and energize the rider community. So how can we do more rewards? So we're actually working with that team. Another one of the things that we're working with is the parking. So with the I-85 crash, if you all rode the system then, or maybe some of your parents or friends rode the system, but we were actually able to stand up a web page in less than 24 hours that told you the availability of parking in all of our parking facilities around the city. So one of the things that we're also trying to do is just automate that. So that right now has a manual component in that. There is somebody that has to actually go out and visually count and see how many cars are in that lot. But now we're trying to work with the capability to automate that and be able to count cars, count the number of spaces, direct people to open spaces that are at the parking lots of the parking facilities. So those are just 3 examples that we're moving forward with that originated out of this hackathon. And we're looking at and having hopes of integrating more and more from that hackathon. So one of the things that in my speaking with you all to here today is I wanted you all to invite and form a team and participate in the next Marta hackathon. And that is, the theme of that is going to be cybersecurity. So one of the things that I'm doing now is trying to formulate what's that going to look like. You know, am I going to form a team of defenders from Marta staff and invite teams to come in and hack against it? Or it might be where we do, you know, a flag attack, you know, capture each other's flags. So there are a number of things that we're throwing around trying to make that an exciting time, but it's something that would be awesome. And I think from what I've seen today, you all actually might be ready to do is participate in a hackathon. And we have teams of all ages, all experience levels. So it's something that you guys I think you would enjoy, and I think you would enjoy the competition and meeting others that are like you. And click it on continue to work. So all right, so next is more resources. So from that perspective, we partner with Smart City at IoT. We partner with the city of Atlanta. We've launched a regional open data source portal. So those sites that you see here are actually sites that you can go to today and actually get Marta transit data. You can actually get data from the city of Atlanta. You can actually get some from the regional areas. You can start to gather data. And if you all have ideas or just want to be able to sort of traverse some of the data to understand some of the trends that may be out there or may have occurred over the last year or two, then those are sources that you'll be able to go to. But one of the things that we're absolutely trying to do is engage with the technical community here in Atlanta and really start to understand what benefits there might be, as well as just gelling the resources, tapping into a lot of the knowledge capital that is out here that not most people do. Yes, sir. Qualifications is that you have a passion to do it. So you don't have to have an experience level. We've had people come and participate in the hackathon just to sit and see what they can learn, just to make connections. So there are people that are very technical. There are people that are very graphical or GUI interface nature. There are people that are very process oriented. There are people that are very business centric. And when you form a team, those are all of the things that you need in order to have a good idea, in order to gel something to move forward with. So you do need the technical component, but one of the things that I always say is you need to be well-rounded in what you do. So that's understanding why you do some of the things that you do, and what are some of the pitfalls to doing what you do, and what are some of the opportunities. So you can't think just linearly, as they say in a silo, or linearly. Be linear in thinking. You need to be well-rounded and just have thinking of the consumer, thinking about the people that are actually going to consume and use what it is that you're building. The next hackathon, I think we're scheduling for, I think it's going to be in October or September. So we have a few months before the next one, but one of the things, we have a Slack channel. I don't know if the website is, it's not up there, but we have a Slack channel that you guys can go to, and you can also get the information from the Marta, it's marta.com website. It's there also. So, and it's like I said, I'm always available to you all, and of course, the people here are always available to you. So always reach out to me, and I can keep you all informed of when that's going to be. And more than Marta. So the reason why I have these pictures up is that that's me in my Darth Vader outfit. That's me as a young child, and that's me somewhere in that picture there. Yeah, that's my shadow back there. But no, seriously, the reason why I have this up is we're more than Marta. We're more than just transportation. Hopefully you all have learned that there's a tremendous and a huge technology component to Marta that we work on and work with every day. So we're more than just what you see. So we help when DragonCon comes to town. We help support that. We help support it by adding those additional buses, adding those additional trains, by doing more signage in and around the system. My boss loves this picture because it reminds her of she and her son when they were riding the system as children. And actually reminds, although, you know, I never took a picture that cute, but it reminds me of myself because I'm actually second generation Marta. My father actually retired after 25 years of driving the Marta bus. So for me to be able to come and work at Marta and do things at Marta is something special and personal for me. And it was one of those things that was on my bucket list. So, you know, I think I said it before, I want to leave Marta in a better place than it was from when I got there. So that's what I try to do every day. And then last but not least is this picture here. And this just shows that Marta has integration with the community. These people actually met at the Decatur station and started a relationship, fell in love, and got married. So they actually wanted to come back, and they took that picture on their wedding day at the Decatur station. And, oh God, this is not working. Last but not least, questions and comments. Free your mind. What can I answer about anything that you've seen or just anything in general? You gonna be that easy and let me off that easy? Yes, sir.
So is the Breeze card like a debit card, like a credit card? Like, is it like...
Right now, it's not. It's more like it's a dumb credit card. And the reason why I say it's a dumb credit card is because it's something that allows for you to have transactions and track purchase of a particular product, but it's not necessarily associated with you. And to go a little bit further, I say that because I said earlier that I can track people in and out of the system. I don't know who's the owner of that card. All that I know is that card number 12345 purchased monthly fare and has used it 15 times this year. And the last time they entered the system was at the 5 Point station, and they exited out at the Perimeter Mall station. So those, I know the transaction, I know your history, but I don't know who that card is associated with until you associate that card with your account on breeze.com. I mean on itsmarter.com or the breezemobile.com. So that's why it's a dumb credit card. It can track your transaction and your history, but not necessarily you or know who you are.
You got any plans to get into fintech?
Any what now?
Fintech? Because you call it dumb. I mean, you guys got real estate, right?
Yeah.
So You gonna get into making it a real credit card, like maybe a co-branded card.
So
sell it, use it at the restaurant around the main building and whatnot.
So we probably won't ever do the Breeze card like that, just simply because of the cost that's associated with. And then once you do that, a lot of that liability, right now we're able to push it off and have the third party Bank of America, who we bank with, does a lot of that securing of the transaction, as well as our gate providers help offset some of that risk for us. One of the things that we may do is as we branch over into the mobile side, we'll start offering that capability to do multiple purchases on a single medium at that point. Yes, sir.
Is Marta offering undergraduate tech internships?
We are. I'm actually in the process of trying to solidify a contract with Year Up. I'm not sure if you all heard of that program. So they start with high school age kids all the way up, and they work with them. We have internships that we have now that we've just started to release our programs. So I know I have within my area 3 intern openings right now. So within the technology, I'm looking for web developers, Oracle, and database. And that's Oracle Systems, ERP, and Oracle Database. So 3 internships.
Are those paid internships?
They are.
And how do people know how to get to them, to apply for them?
It's Marta.com. So we have full-time, and internship programs posted on itsmarta.com.
Is there a way to circumvent that?
Unfortunately, because we're quasi-government, they won't let us. I find myself not able to circumvent anything. But let me know if there are things out there that you see in the technology area. Let me know, and that's something that we can always. There's always a pile, but who's to say your name can't be at the top of the pile?
I'm just saying because there's more than Year Up, right?
Yeah, there are a lot more programs. That's just something that that I've worked, that I had the opportunity to see and speak to that group, and I was very impressed. So if there are others out there, hey, I'm all about it. It's like I said, one of the main reasons that I'm here where I'm at now is because an opportunity like this. Someone put a computer in front of me and had a conversation with me that resonated inside of me. So that's why I love doing this type of stuff, because it's an opportunity. It's an interaction that it's something that somebody is doing what you're wanting to do, or which, if you want to do it professionally, or if it's just a hobby. It's an avenue. I had a question over here. Sorry. Yes, sir. Not a marketing person. However, I am one of the ones, the rideshare program. That's one of the things that it was probably one of my first initiatives when I joined Marta, was trying to figure out how to bridge the first and last mile. Here in the city of Atlanta, it's very important, and that's a huge topic because the city, the metro city of Atlanta is so dispersed and spread wide, very wide. How do we get people to our front door, and how do we get you from our back door to your final destination? So one of the things that we did is we reached out to Uber, and we started a program with Uber. And we said, hey, Mr. Uber, if we start a program with you, will you start to share some of your data with us and allow us to understand where our ridership is, and then maybe we can target those legislators up in that north corridor that you pick up riders and bring to our front door. Uber said no, so we said forget you. They won't share any data with us. They would not share any data with us, so we severed that relationship, and now we're working with Lyft. And see, there's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And so now we're working with Lyft, and Lyft has been a lot more supportive in sharing some of their data with us. So we started specifically Lyft, allowing them to go to the airport, our airport station, College Park, and a lot of the other stations now where they can pull directly up and do that. And the same thing with Hartsfield. Hartsfield opened up their doors and are now allowing the ride shares to actually do drop-offs and pickups there. So we're partnering with that ride share community, and we're hopefully going to continue this relationship where we're sharing. There's with Lyft, our marketing teams did start a program where I think if your first ride, you get X% off on a monthly card, and vice versa. If you tell them that you rode Marta from a station, your first ride, they give you an extra discount there. So it is something that we're working with on those ride share programs. Yes, sir.
Is there a way for Marta to allow us then to encapsulate our entire journey just in one payment? So I can say, hey, I want to leave home, I want to go down to wherever, pay for everything, whether it's the combination of Lyft, Marta, net transit, whatever the case, pay one flat fee, get me there, and pay one flat fee.
Yep, absolutely. That is the end game. So one of the ways that we're trying to approach that is once this mobile ticketing comes out, that will be one opportunity for that also. What we're trying to do in the meantime is also bridge that gap from the website and the mobile application perspective. So one of the things from a technical perspective, approaching it from the back end, from a technical perspective, we have software that allows you to plan a trip. That plan a trip software only allows you to plan a trip within the system. So that is either you go to this bus stop that is 5 blocks away, or you go to this train stop, what have you, and then ride that to the nearest exit point to wherever your final destination is. We're trying to expand that with having API, which actually is one of the hackathon teams came up with, is a way to plan your trip using end-to-end. So if that means incorporating one of the rideshare programs, Lyft, or if it means using Uber or whatever the case, that you can make that payment with a single transaction, buy your Marta ticketing, and have not only your entire trip paid for, but have the directions to go door to door. So those are the ways that we're trying to approach or tackle that problem.
Will mobile ticketing eliminate having to use a kiosk?
It will. Once mobile ticketing comes out, you can do all of your transactions via the comfort of your home, office, school, playground, basketball court. Notice I didn't say driving. Do not use your phones while you're driving. But it will eliminate a lot of that. And any other questions? That's easy, man. I gotta get out here scot-free. Yes, sir.
My question is relating to some of the technologies you mentioned. Discussing maybe contractors, implementing some of the technology, is to get all the ideas to go ahead and implement the technology.
So we're doing a couple of things. So some of them have just been ideas that we are progressing. We help them progress. So we're doing a number of different avenues. Some of them, they're ideas that they're saying, hey, why don't you guys do this with the next release of your code? And we're looking at them and we say, okay, that's a great idea. We're going to put that into our, one of our backlog of requirements, and we'll work that into one of the upcoming sprints. So we're doing it that way. One of the other things that I've also been doing is that I've been working with teams to understand what it is that they want to do. So if they have an idea that originated out of the hackathon, depending upon the level of maturity of that idea, either they can hand that off to our technology components at Marta, or they can continue to work with us to progress it. And then based upon that, of course, you know, we find what a fair market value may be, and we try to get there. So that's been the commitment from there. And then there have been other teams that may not have had as mature of an idea, that I've been working to mentor those teams and just really to help them understand what bringing a presentation and bringing something to market looks like. So that if it's not something that we can easily use right now, maybe in the future as they mature it, that another organization or another company would like and can take it to the next level.
Great. Well, let's give Torrey another hand clap. And on behalf of BDPA, we just have a certificate for you, thanking you for your time. Again, thanks so much for joining us. And I hope that everyone in the room was able to take a lot away from this presentation. I know I definitely did. For the students in the room, you know what you have coming after this exit. For the adults, if you like, we can extend the conversation a little bit further right across the hall in the open area. But this has been tremendous. We really appreciate it. And let me get a little bit closer. You want me to do this or not?
There we go, big smile. All right.
I saw President Trump do that.
And guys, I'm sure you guys are going to approach Mr. Kirby about the internship opportunities,
yes.
right? Making contacts, right? Networking with him, right? By show of hands. All right, I'm going to be watching the week to see how you do. But okay, cool. Yeah, definitely take advantage of that, man, because I mean, these are great opportunities, especially you guys who are, you know, graduating or still in school. It's a great opportunity.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, great. So as I mentioned at the beginning, if you're interested in becoming a BDPA member and you're not a member currently, please go to bdpa.org, go under the membership tab, and you will see the various options that you have there. Again, our national conference is at the end of July. So if you're interested in attending that, also please go.
Oh yeah? Cool. Thank you. It's my pleasure. I was excited for you. Overjoyed. Very informative talk.
All right, can we scrunch up a little bit, guys? Y'all spread all the way out. The taller ones to the back, kind of. Some kind of come to the front a little bit, you know your heights. Let's get a little squishy here so we can all get in the shot. You all know each other well, so I'm sure none of you are going to bite each other. It's okay. All right. 1, 2. Everybody give me a big cheese. Everybody say Torrey Kirby.
Torrey Kirby.
Everybody say Marta is smarter.
Marta is smarter.
All right. Got it.
King's rule.
I know you have your box of goodies.
Oh yeah, I did forget that. So I got a box of goodies. I didn't come in empty-handed. I browbeat our marketing team to give me a whole bunch of stuff. So at least I hope it's a whole bunch of stuff. You know, come up and help yourself, grab goodies. These are cell phone cases. I mean, cell phone things on the back of your phone. Brown beach in the bed. Good stuff. Absolutely. Just one good look. That's like that was his idea. Oh yeah, you can.
That's how you get busted.
That's exactly what happened. Feel free to grab.
So I can get a bus?
Y'all would love the bus. Oh, you know what? And these are some USB extenders. It's a bag holder, man. Bag holder. I mean, it's a name tag, though. It's a name tag. You put that, yeah, get a USB.
I was about to roll it, but then I figured I was.
Do you know how I stop it?
Stop it in the broadcaster.
Oh, where's the broadcaster?
Yeah, stick it on the back of your phone.
So I paused it from here.
Okay, in the I guess in the encoder I would say. So go to that. I think it's outputs maybe. And then I think you just click on it. And I think that's what
You're gonna be here tomorrow? I don't know. Let me stop this really quick.